AITA, was hospitalized and hubby made me upset so we had a fight. I was hospitalized. I, 41/F, had respiratory issues because I caught something from my son, 11/M. He came home coughing and with runny nose. Then progressed to fever and was diagnosed with pneumonia. 2 days and a trip to his pedia later, I was bedridden and felt like I was dying. I expressed to my husband, 65/M, that I felt like I was dying. He said to me that no one gets hospitalized with cough and cold. But this doesn't seem like a normal bug. I really felt like dying and I had muscle pain everywhere. So, I called my mom and my brother who came over right away and promptly helped me. My mother gave me steam therapy while my brother said, he will take me to the hospital. At that point, my husband was acting like, you didn't tell me you wanted to go to the hospital. I did. I voiced out the day before that I wanted to be hospitalized and I felt like I was dying. When the doctor at the hospital saw me, she made a decision to admit me at the hospital and have me hooked on IV for antibiotics and antipyretics right away. We found out through the tests that besides my respiratory issues, I was having UTI. Also, additional context, a month prior, I had kidney stones that I went to the hospital for due to pain. That doctor informed me that the remaining stones is small and can pass naturally if I just drink enough water. A year before that I had a hysterectomy due to precancer diagnosis. That started with heavy bleeding that led to a DNC in May 2024 and hysterectomy November 2024. With all these hospitalization stints, I had become extremely paranoid with my health. Additional info, I took GLP-1 for the first time a week prior to this hospitalization. Probably why my husband didn't take my complaining about feeling like dying seriously. Anyway, fast forward while I was in the hospital, I was having paranoia and couldn't sleep thinking that the GLP-1 is wreaking havoc in my body and causing my kidney to fail when I already had kidney stones, etc. I felt like I had acute renal failure. So, I couldn't sleep and already felt dread even after I notified the nurse about everything I was worrying about. Mind you, my husband stayed at home to look after my son because he is also sick. When I texted him to let him know about this paranoid feeling of dread about my health, instead of sympathizing, he was complaining about my son. He said I should have taught him how to take pills instead of syrup for his medications. So, I was fighting with him via text because the meds that my son is taking was given by a pedia. He shouldn't be forcing him to take any meds that is not prescribed. And she, the pedia, prescribed syrups because even though he is 11, he is a picky eater and I can't force him to take anything if he doesn't want to. After this fight about my son, we both calmed down and he finally listened to me about my situation at the hospital, but at the same time he was blaming me regarding my sickness and saying it was because of the GLP-1. He said, I shouldn't have taken that. It was purely for cosmetic purposes and where I got it was not trusted. Even though it was prescribed to me by a weight loss doctor and nutritionist but all online. During this conversation, it was nighttime at the hospital and I was running out of clothes to wear. Mind you, the clothes that he handed to my brother for me to wear are his sweatshirts because he said I didn't have a proper shirt that I can sweat on. I wear blouses and dresses and the textile is not cotton. So, I told him, I need more clothes. I might be staying at the hospital longer. He said, certainly, I will visit you tomorrow with your son and we will bring clothes. Early the following morning, the doctor said, I was all good to go. Tests all came back fine. And that I shouldn't worry about my kidneys, the GLP-1 didn't do anything. My kidney stones are all tiny like sand and I can pee it without issues if I just drink enough. So, I texted my husband, I am going home. He should come pick me up at 10 and also, I needed him to take care of the paperwork like insurance and payments etc. Also, I am running out of clothes to wear. I have nothing but the sweatshirt on. No underwear or pants because each time I cough I leaked. I have respiratory issues, so I cough so much. I texted my husband this. It didn't seem like he read it. He was at the hospital before 8 a.m. I was surprised. I wasn't expecting him until 10 a.m. I asked where's my clothes. He said what clothes, you won't need it, you are going home today. Going home looking like this? Just sweatshirt on, nothing else. He said he is not going back home, he drove on a motorcycle, mind you, he has a car. He will get rained on and then back again. So, whatever, I guess I am going home like this. Then, he asked me if I did all my paperwork and paid. I said no. That is done by the relatives of the patient. I can't walk around the hospital looking like this, nothing by sweatshirt and a plastic wrap for a hair tie, I look homeless. Literally. And I have an IV still hooked on me. I am not about to walk around everywhere with this thing. So, he reluctantly did my paperwork. He thought that he can pay for my bills using my credit card. He got there and the cashier said they can only accept half card payment, half cash. He paid the cash because I have nothing on me. That pissed him off. It set him off so much because 2 days ago when my brother was admitting me to the hospital, it turned out that my insurance had a lapse in payment. That my brother had to shell out money to pay for it. So I told him, can you pay my brother back for whatever he paid? Then I will pay you back once I am able to get into an ATM. I have money in the bank. Money is not a problem. Just that I am not feeling great. But he was not happy that I was not prepared. I didn't have money in cash. I didn't pay my insurance off. So, he was pissed. The nurses and the paperwork was taking so long, as always because this is how hospitals are. It moves in a slow phase when you are about to be released. During this convo, I already told him to not be an anxious mess because I am also feeling anxious around him. He said he found out his brother has third-stage prostate cancer and this is putting him in a mood. Anyway, after all is said and done, I was walking out of the hospital looking like a homeless person and he walked ahead of me. I didn't even get the chance to tell him to buy my take-home medications. He got on his bike. He said he is going to the bank. He was still pissed. So, I was left to get my meds where I had to walk to 2 pharmacies to get all my meds. And then went inside a small store to pee because I can't hold my pee after what just happened to me at the hospital. All the while people are looking at me like I was a homeless person. Then, I went on my car that my brother left at the parking lot when he took me to the hospital and drove myself home. I was still not feeling 100%. I was dizzy and lethargic but I had to drive myself. I was seething with anger on the way home. I got home and my husband was still not there. As he said he was still in the bank. So, when he got home, we had a fight. Screaming match more like. His side was only that I was not prepared whenever I have these situations. I didn't prepare my money and my insurance and because of that, he was screaming at me. Even after I told him how he made me feel. What he put me through. No apologies. Instead, I was met with screaming. I was pissed. I couldn't even sleep. So, I couldn't recover from my illness. I was not resting. It was a horrible time. The following day, early morning, I was on the phone with my best friend and told her all about what happened to me and the fight that me and my husband had. My husband saw that I was on a call. Then he proceeded to watch his TV. After I was done with the call, he asked me, "How are you feeling?" I said, "Like killing you." I was still extremely angry about what happened. And he said, "Why? What did I do to you? You don't know what you did to me? Even after I already told you multiple times." I was livid. Him gaslighting me like he didn't know why I am even upset and he is acting like he was just being a good husband asking how I was feeling. So, I did the unthinkable. I took his hot coffee and I splashed it all over him and threw the cup on him too. Which he dodged and it broke on the floor. I stormed out. On the way out, I threw an electric fan. It made him so upset how I acted. So, we are now on a screaming match again. I felt like I was not being heard because again he is asking what it was that he did to me. I was enraged at this point. I took plates and started throwing it. Not at his direction, just throwing to let out anger. I told him, "You know exactly what happened, you know what you did to me. You didn't apologize and you are now going to act like I am the crazy one for acting the way I am acting." He started laughing. He was deliberately making me angry. Then act like it is me that is crazy. So, all morning, it was just screaming matches and fighting. My son got fed up. He said to me, "Why don't you two find a way to resolve this? Just talk it out." He sat us down. My son hearing both sides and commenting on which person did what. My son even saying to him that is not an apology. That is just you blaming her and rubbing in whatever happened to her. But I was just tired and been up so many nights and in the hospital for so long. I didn't have it in me to fight anymore. So even if he didn't apologize. I apologized for breaking the plates and throwing coffee at him. A day later, I texted him to let him know. I was still mad. I can't let it go. I don't think I will ever forget that he did this. He texted, "Here I will say this, I am sorry." Finally, that was all I needed. AITA for not letting this go?
Relevant comment. Alice Grandma. Why are you with him? Did he take care of you in the beginning? What a jerk. I can't even.
OP. Yes, he did take care of me during my hospital stays before. When I had my hysterectomy and DNC last year, he was very caring. So this switch up this time was from left field. So, I was extremely surprised and caught off guard. Probably why I lashed out. I know I sound batshit crazy for the things that I did. And I understand the criticism that people said in the comments. I should not have lost my temper. Backstory, for more context. I have my own money and a high-paying job. I didn't really need financial help. My husband bought this big beautiful house more than 2 years ago. Prior to this, we were living separately but married. We never had a fight before, then we moved in together. Suddenly, he acts like he owns me. He wants me to feel extremely grateful for the house he provided. He is paying for electricity and water. But everything else my son and I needs, food, etc., it's all on me. We are well off. Money is not even a problem for both of us. He wants things done his way. All the time. His way, how to do the dishes, how to hang clothes, etc. And that causes most fights. Because I am not going to read how he wants me to do things, I am just going to do it the way I think is right. But somehow, he finds a way to fight about money. Again this time when I was at the hospital, even though he knew I would pay him back for all the money that I was borrowing since I am stuck in an IV and hospital bed. We have been fighting about money and house chores, which is extremely childish, I know. Believe me, I don't want to be fighting about it. I don't want to be in any argument at all. But when someone is yelling at you about stupid little shit, you get roped into having a fight too. And this hospitalization was the thing that broke the camel's back for me, that I really was furious and acted out and broke things. I know it is wrong. I should not have done that. I understand that my child should not even be in the middle of it. I understand what everyone is saying and the criticisms. Yes, I get it. For the other comments, I live in the Philippines. I am a Filipina. My husband is white American. The way the hospital works is different, they don't give you a gown in this hospital. So, I was wearing my own clothes. They don't put me in diapers or in catheters because I can walk to the bathroom if I needed to. It's just little leaks when I cough that soiled my clothes. Anyway, even though I am a younger Filipina, I didn't marry my husband for money. Like I said, I also have a high-paying job, connected to the US without his help because I have had this job even prior to meeting him. We have a better life than most people. We are normally happy. That is why having this happen to us was so unusual and it feels so different. I know exactly what my husband's problem is, he would never admit fault. So even though he knew that he was in the wrong, he would rather fight about me not being prepared with my insurance and the money instead of admitting that. There is no divorce in the Philippines. Yes, this is not the ideal situation, but this is not how our life is on a daily. This is a one-time snapshot of our long relationship together of over 9 years. But whose lives are perfect? My son, unfortunately, people are right, is privy to our dysfunctional outbursts at times. So, all I can do is control my actions from here on. I can't control my husband's. I can't even begin to talk to him about making changes to himself, or else that is another fight.